Yo, what up? We live. I have passed my road test. I can drive. Snert Gonzo, L Powers. Yes, guys, I can drive now. Had my road test in the morning, and I passed. Get an RV? Meh. One step at a time, bud. One step at a time. Thank you, Billabong Matt. So yeah, my work, my boss, he set up a car for me. He knew somebody who would lend me a car, so he fucking lent me a car. White Tupac. Should be home by 4:00. Yeah, I'm probably working till 4, and then I'll drive home, and then I'll come by. I won't have too many drinks. I'll order the pizza though. I'll order the pizza. I got the pizzas on me, but yeah, I might go hang out with another buddy too tomorrow night there. But I'll come see you. We'll stream for a bit. So first off, so yeah, this place at work is pretty cool for doing this. You know what I mean? Like he arranged it, got me a vehicle, got somebody to take me in. So, buddy picked me up at like 8:00. Well, he was here. He was here earlier than he was supposed to be. So he was going to pick me up at 8:30. He was supposed to. That's when I was going to be ready. So I was in the shower at like 8:15, and I hear him honking. And then he comes in and checks on me, like, I'll be 5 minutes. So anyway, I get out, and then I drove to the drive test, just so I could familiarize with his vehicle, which was a Lexus, by the way. It was a Lexus. I showed up at this driver's test in fucking style, bro. Like, luxury vehicle. Anyway, so I, figured out, I had to figure out where all the lights are, light switches and wiper switches and four ways, and it had like it was a manual, but I guess like there's like the bottom like you got this is a stick shift thing for like the reverse and the neutral and everything, and the drive thing had like an S and a D on it, and I had it in S, which I guess is like a standard. I guess you can switch it over to standard or something. So I don't know, whatever. I was just driving. But anyway, so I show up to the drive. I show up to the wait, what, an ice maker machine, nice. So I showed up to the road test. You had to be there half an hour early, and like the clock on the car was like a few minutes fast. So like I thought I was there right on time, but I was actually early a little bit. I was like, so I like went to go. You have to go to like this ticket machine to give you the ticket for your appointment or whatever, and put your driver's license number and what kind of car you're using and all this shit. So anyway, I went to it and I was like early. Like, oh, you can't do this until 30 minutes before. So I we'll crack a monster, guys. Crack a monster. So I went outside and had a smoke. Went in, put all my information in. Whiskey Hoarder. Oh yeah, I'm coming back. I still have responsibilities right now outside of the MC Frosty show, which are a job. So yeah. But Frosty's coming back. It's a new phase, guys. This is a new phase. I can rent a car and go where the fuck I want. I got money too, you know what I mean? So, hey. So what happened? So put in all your information, they give you a ticket, and they're like, go wait inside your car. So my appointment was for like 9:43 a.m. and I'm there at like 9:13. Do the shit. Brandon Q, why am I in a tent? Bum? Okay, I am a bum. Okay, you're correct on that. But that is unrelated to the tent. I'm working at a job site where it's too far from Cornwall. So the last 2 weeks I've been in a tent. I just got assigned to this job cleaning barns. Pig shit, basically. So I fucking agreed that I'll stay in the tent until I get my driver's license, and then if I need to go back to Cornwall, then I can Gamble is my homie, but whatever you have going on with him is between you and him. Like, I haven't actually been watching Gamble lately, but he made you, bro. I wouldn't even know of you if it wasn't for Gamble. Anyway, so Kip, what up? So anyway, so I'm going waiting in the car. Not very long, like 5 minutes, and then he pulls out of a different car, comes around, and he does a little spot check on the lights. So I had to like, well, I'd give him my license, and he took all my shit down, asked me my name and my birthday and all that, and then he's like, just roll your window down, and I'll tell you to turn on whatever lights you gotta turn on. So I did left, right, and then went to the front, left, right, or at the back I did brake lights as well. Hit the brake. So yeah, so then we pulled out. I used my signal to like pull out of the parking spot. You know what I mean? Like, I was like so careful on this test. And I haven't really driven a personal car in like a long time. This is my first time using this vehicle. No, I didn't use Landon's car. My boss knew somebody who would lend me their car. It was a Lexus, bro. It was a Lexus. Like, I was there in style. I'm looking at all the other cars in there. They're like Hondas and, Chevys and, and I'm pulling up in a Lexus, like in scrubs, like work stains on my pants. Like my hair like this. Basically, I just popped out of the shower. Like, I look like a bum driving a Lexus, but I didn't care. So I will say, Brandon, that I watched something of you where you were like super hammered and you were like breaking into somebody's house or something like that. And I will say that was content. That was fucking hilarious. And I saw other people recapping. It sucks that you got arrested and whatever, but or the cops showed up. I don't know what happened, but that was hilarious. I will say that. I will say that was content. You delivered some good content on that one. Anyway, so we pull out of the parking lot. I'm using my signals. I use my signals to like leave the parking space. Like, you don't need to do that, but I did it. And then I use the signal to get, or maybe you do have to do it. I don't know. And I had to use a signal, to get out of the whole parking lot. And then we drove a bit. There was a train going by. So I chit-chatted him up a bit. I'm like, explaining, oh yeah, like 15 years ago I went for my driver's test for my G road test, and the windshield wipers weren't working, and there was a labor dispute, and they had already delayed my test, or gave me an extension because I'm a procrastinator and all this. Anyway, so I just let him know that I'd already had experience driving. So we wait for the train, and I the train goes by, and then I stop at the train tracks again, look both ways, just being super careful. We drive up a bit, take a left at before the lights into this little residential area, and then he's like, park. he's like, parked on the right here on the curb. So I park there, no problems. And then he like drives. Then we drive up a bit. And he's like, okay, now what I want you to do is pretend that we're on an uphill incline and park. And I'm like, okay. So I fucking signal over the right, stop. Obviously, I'm checking my blind spots every single and I'm checking my mirrors every like few seconds and whatever. I'm being a good driver, faithless follower. No, I worked today. You probably won't believe this story either, faithless follower. I'm saying how I got my driver's license. I passed the road test. I'm explaining it all, you know what I mean, in detail, just like I have been about my life. But you probably won't believe this either because I'm not showing you any proof, though. You know what I mean? If you even are human and have a belief system. Okay, so faithless after all. Anyway, so he's like uphill parking. So I turn my wheels to the left, put the e-brake on, all good. Then I was like, I didn't know exactly how to take the e-brake off, so I hit a switch that was down there on the Lexus. All right. Well, you'll believe when you see me driving, but right now, you'll probably believe that I was at work whenever I'm home tomorrow. And I'm streaming with White Tupac. Like, I'm not homeless. You know what I mean? Like, I still have my home. I pay my rent today. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. Anyway, you just give me a hard time. Whatever. You're just trolling. Okay, so I fucking hit a switch down there, and it didn't turn the e-brake off. So I thought it was for like the trunk. So I go out and I open the trunk and it wasn't going. Then I figured, okay, so then I stepped on the e-brake, which is normal, to like take it off. Quick little push, take it off, and then we started driving a bit, and there was a light going off. He's like, "Oh yeah, your hood's open." I guess so. I must have opened the hood with that little switch. So I fucking pull over again. And then go put the hood back down, close the hood properly. I have no reason to lie about anything, bro. That's why I don't. Okay, it's better. You guys are fucking pro lie detectors, like, you know what I mean? But you're wrong. You're wrong in your assumptions. Valley boy, what up? Not even a picture. Like, I clean myself after work, bro. That's like. But you at least acknowledge there's pigs. You're at least acknowledging there's pigs. All right. Decorum Lopez, what up? Hey, they made my buddy learn to drive in an electric car. He should sue them for violating human rights. Well, okay. So then, while I was pulled over. He's like, okay, from here, like after I put the hood back down, he's like, okay, from here, I want you to do a 3-point turn. And I haven't done a 3-point turn in a long fucking time. All right? But I nailed it perfectly. Fucking check my windows, check everything. Fucking go left. Like, my concern was like making sure I just don't hit the curb. You know, if I'm on my own, like whatever if I hit the curb. Like whatever. You know? But fucking that counts as a collision in a road test if you hit a curb and you fail automatically. So I check, no cars coming. Fucking hammer it to the left. Put it in reverse. Look behind me while I'm reversing. You know what I mean? Look behind me while I'm reversing. Turn the wheel the opposite way. And then right at the end of while you're turning, start swinging it back the other way a little bit. And then I fucking go perfect 3-point turn. So I'm like, sweet, I got this. And I haven't driven in a while, I'm just saying. And I drove a work truck a couple times this year with somebody in the truck with me. But, yeah, you shouldn't use the emergency brake ever. They always stick from rust. Well, you have to use your e-brake on an uphill on an uphill parking or a downhill parking. If it's uphill, you put your wheels out, because if your brakes are gonna fail and your car is gonna fucking move from the uphill, then your wheels will stop it as you're going out. It'll hit the curb if you have them out. And if you're going downhill, then you put your wheel in towards the curb, so that if the brakes fail, you happen to fucking go into the curb that way. But both ways, you're supposed to use your e-brake while parking. It's true. I took driver's education like fucking 25 years ago. Okay, so I do remember some things. So anyway, so I did 3-point turn. We're going out of the street, and then he's like, okay, he's like, do parallel park. He's like, right there. There was just a truck there. There was just a truck parked on the curb. There was a driveway next to it. And he's like, yeah, just do a parallel park behind that vehicle. I'm like, well, do you want me to park at the curb on the other side of the driveway, or you want me to block the driveway? He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Just block the driveway. I'm like, okay. So, pull up right beside the car, right beside the truck. You know, checking everything. Fucking, well, not put it in reverse. I got to use it was in the middle. Put it in reverse. Fucking go back about half the length of the vehicle. I'm looking out the window. Don't see the vehicle. I start fucking swinging it back. You know, pretty hard. And then I had enough distance. I fucking nailed the fucking parallel park, bud. So from there, he just had me drive around and just like basically, you know, stop signs, yield signs, making sure my turning was okay. And I was checking my blind spots everywhere. And then on the way back to the drive test center, I crossed the fucking, and I'm driving slow. I'm driving like 40 when the speed limit is 50 kilometers an hour. I just did not want to go over the speed limit or even come close. So we had the railroad tracks. Earlier there was a train coming by, and then we hit the railroad tracks, and I fucking like almost stop at it just to like look both ways. Cars behind me are honking at me, and I'm like, oh well, fuck it. It was just like half a kilometer away from the fucking so someone was fucking with me behind it, but they Jojo Dog Man, what up? Thank you. Oh yeah, I did all the maneuvers perfectly, pretty much, and that's good. I just hadn't done them in a while. I wasn't expecting a parallel park. They don't usually make people do that. I've never had to. I've taken 2 road tests in my life, and they never made me parallel park before, but on this one, they did. And anyway, so yeah, I stopped, like, not completely stopped, but I almost stopped at the railroad tracks. You don't have to do that, okay? But I was just being overly cautious. I'm like, you know, I'm like, I worked on the railroad last year. I'm like, you never know. He's like, yep, safe. Better be safe. But yeah, the drivers behind me were fucking honking, laying on their horns, and I'm still driving slow right to the road test. They're just fucking honking at me. Bastards. Probably would have failed if I gave them the finger or something like that. I don't think you're allowed to. I don't think road rage is like. I think road rage is like an immediate failure. I don't know that for a fact. But yeah. So and then and like the parking lot for the road test, there's like one-way signs on like the exit and the entry. So you have to make sure that's one thing that people have failed before. You have to make sure you go in the right place, like the right entry point for the parking lot. So I did that. He's like just park any spot over on the right, and I did use my signal again to get into the parking spot. Parked it. And he told me I met the province's requirements for passing the test. And I was like, yes! I knew it. Because he wouldn't have let me go that long without saying something. So, will the company give me a work truck now? So I've already arranged for a work truck to take, so I can drive home tomorrow night. the boss after work. I said I'm taking Sunday off, so I'm gonna work till probably like 4 o'clock tomorrow, and then pick up the work truck, and then or maybe they'll drive it to me. I don't know. And then yeah, go home. I'm gonna Ronald McDonald. What up? And then I'm going to meet up with. I plan to meet up with White Tupac tomorrow. So this work truck, I'm driving it straight home, and then I'm gonna just walk. I'm just gonna walk around tomorrow, and then I'll drive the work truck to work on Monday. So that's the plan. It's not for like doing my shit. It's just to get me home and get me to work. That's it. That's it. Have I ever driven a truck? Yeah. I drove a work truck a couple times this year with somebody in the truck with me, experienced driver. I've driven a Gladiator van. I don't know if it's Chevy or GMC, but a Gladiator. It's massive. My dad had a fucking, like, I drove that for years. I drove a fucking Buick Roadmaster, which is like a boat basically on wheels. And also an LT1 engine, which is pretty sick. But Alex C, where is Landon at, bro? I don't know, probably home. Will I bring the truck to Ripper Bars? No. It's not a personal vehicle. It's just to help me get home and back to work. That's it. It's a long enough ride out here, you know what I mean? So. But yeah, it feels good, man. Feels good. New phase of life. Back, you know what I mean? Now the options are open, guys. You know what I mean? So maybe at some point I'll pick up a cheap little car there, $1,000, $2,000, and throw down some insurance. And good to go. Registration and all that. Safety, probably. Yeah, leave the truck when I go home and I go to PAX. Yeah, exactly. White Tupac doesn't live that far from me, so I wouldn't want to take the truck, especially if I'm going out to drink. So I'll just leave the truck at home. That's the plan. Even if I go do groceries, like it's like as if I don't have the truck while I'm in town. It's literally just to get me home and just to get me back. That's it. If I want to do personal shit with a vehicle, I'll just go rent a car. You know what I'm saying? But no need for that. And then I'll probably stay in the tent. I'll probably stay in the tent another 2 weeks. To tell you the truth, I'm getting good hours. I'm like last night it rained a lot though. It fucking rained like a motherfucker. It was moist as fuck in here. There's still a little puddle over here, but it was wet. It wasn't wet on me, but it was wet around the edges. So I think my pillow got a little damp, and I don't know. And then I woke up and fucking tried to charge my phone. And it was like, beep, 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 unplug immediately. There's moisture detected in your fucking charger port or whatever. I'm like, oh, fuck. Which makes no sense because this phone's supposed to be waterproof. But anyway, it must. I don't know if it said moisture detected in the charger or the cable. I don't know. I forgot what it said. But I was like, oh, fuck. I'm trying a different cable that I had in my bag that was dry. Tried a few different things, but no charging. So by the end of the day, it was all good though. I charged it up at the end of the day. So I'm after some shriveled pig shit. Sick of it. What up? No, not selling. Tons of massage rooms now, though. You're suggesting that I drive for a rub and tug every once in a while? I don't know about about that. I've got no pig shit on a spade. Oh, there's some pig shit like in the barn, but there's biosecurity protocols here, okay? And that'll be a direct violation to remove fecal matter from the place where it lay. Okay, there's specific places for the fecal matter, which is like a grate at the end of the pen. Okay, it is not meant for internet entertainment. I apologize. Some work insurance covers it. You're talking about massages. Yeah, I don't have benefits. But you're right. It's not that it. Yeah, so some insurance covers massages. You can have X amount of dollars in massages. So, for instance, the company I worked for last year, my benefits didn't kick in before I got laid off and eventually fired. But yeah, they had massages included. So it depends on the parlor. It actually depends on the parlor if they have it set up to bill to insurance. Not all parlors are can be used for benefits, and some of those parlors will tug yo dick. Going to a spa tomorrow. Nice. Thanks, Bones. My road test at 50. Okay, I'm 43. I used to have my license, so it's been 15 years. It's been 15 years since my my last license expired. I had my license for 10 years. But what I do want to check with you guys is the restrictions. Like what are the actual rules now that I have this? So there's 3 levels of licensing in Ontario, Canada. There's your G1, which is your learners, which is what I had. You have to have that for a year before you can go take your road test. For your G2, which is what I have. Now, if I would have took driver's education, driver's ed, I would have had to pay $700 to $1,000 for that, and that would have reduced the waiting period down to 8 months. I didn't think it was worth it. This job didn't put any pressure on me to have my driver's license. The other job that I had last year, though, I would have taken driver's ed, and I would have got my license sooner. Now, another benefit to taking driver's ed is that it also reduces your insurance fees, I believe. So I don't know if, like, it is on record that I've had driver's ed when I had my first license. So if they do like an abstract on my driving record, they may find that I've taken driver's ed, and that might be good enough for insurance to be reduced. With insurance companies, I might still count that I've had driver's ed. So I don't know that. Johnny Wolf lived on a farm for 50 years and crap in the wilderness. It was pretty fun, way off grid. Yeah, I'm out in the country. I'm gonna eat me a lot of peaches. I honestly don't mind the work that I'm doing for this job. Like it's cleaning. It's just cleaning. I'm not doing any farming or anything, but it's, today all I did was scrub ceilings, and I got my technique down, bud. I got my technique down when it's a long little section, because there's pipes and shit, so I can't do it's not just like an unobstructed ceiling. There's pipes, so in those areas I gotta do like short fucking scrubs, okay? But when there's a long space, I'm like gliding. I do like a glide with my feet, sidestep, and I'm fucking like I got my technique down, bud. Do I have a shit scraper? No. All the areas have been pressure washed already, so that essentially got all like the major shit off, but there's still shit stains. And that's basically, or feed stains, or a mix of shit and feed stains. And that's basically what I've been scrubbing. But I got the rest. Oh, and Faceless Follower, there's actually only 12. There's only 12 pens in the second room. I apologize. I said 14 yesterday. I didn't mean to lie. But there is only 12. I must have miscounted because I was counting by I was looking from the other room when I was counting, and I was counting the cement walls in between, and there was an extra wall that I thought was a pen, but it's actually 12. So I went into work today thinking I had 2 extra pens to do, which was basically an extra hour of work. About half an hour a pen ceilings. But tomorrow I'll be going in and I'll be scrubbing. And I only worked 5 hours today because I was done. I got back here, and I'm back to work by 11 o'clock. And so I'll give you an idea of how far I am. And if you add up the timeline that I was giving you earlier, I didn't actually say how long the driver's test was, but anyway. Oh, I went and got some Tim Hortons. I actually had a coffee. I got a fucking coffee today. First one in 10 days. And I fucking... Coming clean. Oliver Jabroni, how much will you take us to the ship barn right now? $20,000. Because that's going to cover me getting fired. And probably maybe a little bit of a lawsuit that they'll give me. I also wouldn't want to show you guys the exterior because you could probably locate exactly where I am. I'm just saying. I'm not risking my job, guys. I'm sorry. I've been told, don't photograph, don't film shit. I'm not even gonna film while I'm driving the work truck. I'm not showing you guys any work related property. That's just the way it goes. It's common practice amongst companies. Sick of it. Who is he and why was he recommended in the algorithm? Well, that probably says more about you. The algorithm's recommending me to you probably shows more about you. I am MC motherfucking Prosty. Or I used to be. Well, I am. But I used to be doing MC Frosty for my livelihood. Now I work seasonally. So I still got time to be MC Frosty. I'm back to being single. MC Broski, sure. Yeah. Whose car do I use? I use a friend of the boss of the company. It was a Lexus. So I was like, whoa, sweet. Wait now a second. Here's the thing. Is Lexus, is that like the luxury version of Toyota? My accent, I talk quick. I'm having an energy drink here, sorry. I'm Canadian. I'm from Cornwall, Ontario. Wow, it is the luxury brand of Toyota, right? Okay, that's cool, man. Toyota, baby. Toyota Cata, motherfucker. Hey. Yeah, it's not very nice at all. Johnny Wolf. So you're at a campsite camping? No, I'm at the work site. Basically, it's a farm. It's a farm, so there's a residence here as well. I don't think it's like I don't think it's like a severed property. I told buddy who lives in the house. I was like, yeah, my chat thinks I'm homeless and all this because I won't show them outside. He's like, you can show the house if you want. I'm like, no. No. That's exactly what I don't want. Fucking weaponized autist out here. Vossiati, what up, man? I'm gonna mod you up there, bud. Yeah, no. Like, what kind of psychopath, or not even know psychopaths are right, what kind of nut job would I have to be able to make up all this shit if you don't fucking believe me? So I'm just staying in a tent because the job site here is too far from my residence in Cornwall to drive back and forth every day. Now, you know what? I could probably, now that I have my license, I could probably be like, yo, can I drive home every day? But I've already shown that I'm willing to stay in the tent. So it's like, I'll just be wasting gas at that point. So right now, I'm going home tomorrow night. I'll be my first sleep in my bed in like fucking 2 weeks almost. And like, I said I was going to work 13 days straight. So tomorrow will be my 13th day straight. And, go home, and I'm gonna have some drinks with White Tupac tomorrow night. Maybe smoke some. I haven't smoked weed in fucking like 16 days. Okay, you know what I mean. And I'm gonna drive back here on Monday for work on Monday, which is a holiday, which is good. So that's extra hours. You know what I mean. You completely exposed. Okay, if you're accusing me of a crime, okay, I'm innocent until proven guilty, okay? So everything I'm saying is true until you can prove that I'm doing something wrong. So prove it, AI. Now, if you don't believe me, that's your fucking problem, not mine. I think you've got trust issues. Got my carton of smokes today, bud. I already went through one pack. Trolls are dumb. Well, he's just, it's, you know, my integrity is one thing that like, you know, I hold high in my life, you know what I mean? My credibility, my integrity. So that's one of my advantages as a streamer, is that you can generally trust what I say. Now, most of the shit I do and most of the shit I say is rooted in the truth. You think AI is evil? Yeah, man. Yeah. I don't know about evil. I don't know about evil yet. But I do think it's like... I do think it's like manipulating people. Manipulating like people's... brains, I guess, is the best way to put it. I don't know if it's for evil purposes. Maybe it's going to end up helping us. I don't know. But I will say that I had an interesting conversation with it one time, and it was like, all I asked it was to identify what movie, an opening scene. I could remember the opening scene, and my work partner could remember the opening scene, but we couldn't remember the name of the movie. So I asked it, what about the scene? Described it, and then it gave me the name of the movie, and then it was like, I hope you enjoy watching that movie, or something like that. And I was like, I never said I was going to watch it. I just wanted to fucking know what it was. So, you know, that it's just assumptions like that. Like, how far would those assumptions go? And like, blah, 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 I don't know. Withholding the truth is not lying, though. And again, you're like conflating. You're conflating me fucking disregarding a chat question to withholding the truth. Those are again, oranges and apples, Mr. Semantics. Like, holy fuck. I was just showing you techniques. I was just showing you techniques I use when I don't want to say the truth. When I don't want to let you know that I'm fucking high. Okay? For whatever reason. I just don't answer your inquiries. Okay? But now I know that you know that's how I handle those situations. So now I'll handle those situations perhaps in a different way. Or maybe I won't. Or maybe I'll play with you guys when you ask me if I'm high and I'm not high or I am high. Maybe because now I exposed myself on that stream. Why did I do that? Obviously, there's meth in the future. Okay, that was the point of that. And I don't know if I'll acknowledge it or not. We'll see what happens. Faded Times for Life, what up? Yeah, I pleaded the fifth, man. I don't need to fucking incriminate myself. Do I still do meth? Not when I have to work. Meth and work, not good. Come downs and work, not good. So, no, a road test. Sick of it all for my driver's license, my G2. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna check the rules of the G2 here. Do I need to show you guys this? Do I need to put it up? Do I need to put it up here? G2 license. Yeah, rules. I'll just read them to you. Okay, all right, Class G2. First time driver's license test? No. I've when I was about 18. So I think I got my G1 when I was 17. There's 3 levels. Like I said, I didn't even finish it. G1 driver's, it's a learner's permit basically. You'll hold that for a year if you don't take driver's ed. Then you can take a road test to get your G2, which means you can drive alone. That's what I did today. And then after a year from today, I could go and get my G license, which is full-blown license for cars and road vehicles, not motorcycles. It's better for viewer retention. Fucking manager over here, bro. Okay, fine. I agree with you, though. Let me just... see what we got. Hold on here. Look at this. Alright, fucking close enough here. Okay. Oh wait, can I just... wait. Okay. If I ever come to Windsor, let me know. Is that an invitation? Vasietti, how? You've been watching me for a while. Did we get to know each other on Twitter or something like that? Nicole Arbor Twitter battle or something? Does that ring a bell to you, or is it like straight up IP2? I know you got a bunch of fucking subscribers there, bud. I was checking my big the subscribers that I have with bigger subscriber counts than me, and you're fucking one of them, I think. Anyway, so yeah, so it was like I was saying, I got my G2 when I was 18 after taking driver's ed, and then you can hold it for up to 5 years. And then I went and just renewed my G2 instead of going and getting my G. Yeah, it was back then, wasn't it? It was from that Twitter battle with fucking Nicole Arbor. Yeah, I thought so. I think I remember you from there, man. Pretty sure. That was a good one, though. She actually acknowledged me after that. We DM'd a bit. Until she blocked me because I was like so methed out, and I was just typing my whole personal history to her, like pages and pages of TLDR, and then she blocked me. But she still hearts me when I comment on her she probably doesn't remember me by now, but when I comment on her YouTube videos. Oh, it's IP2? Okay, never mind. I'll get back into it. Okay, so yeah, if I don't know. Anyway, so if I will go to Windsor, but I can't. I'm not doing any traveling with MC Frosty until after I'm done work. Shkoneski, what's wrong? I'm in a tent now. This is where you're living every day. Every day, Shkoneski. No, I got my driver's license today. Like my I can drive by myself now. No, what I'll do is I'll go stop. I think it's in the Toronto region. I'll stop and see Erin Shred. She'll be the first stop. I'm gonna pay her to do my hair. I'm gonna grow my hair out until then. I've already arranged with her that I'm gonna set an appointment where she's a hairdresser or something, and she can have free reign on my hair at that point and make me as frosty as fuck. So I'll go there. I don't know if I'll drive there. Maybe I will. It kind of makes more sense for me to take a train there, and then if I need a car or rent a car, and then I'll go to Windsor. Okay, that was one of my plans. I want to go collaborate and do some streaming with some of the viewers. So this is perfect. I like that. I like your mindset. Yeah, Attila. I don't know. I like Attila. If we can get him to Windsor, that'd be awesome. Okay, so where was I? So we want to find the restrictions for the G2 license here. Graduated license. Apply for a license. Proof of identification. Yeah, I did all that. Proof of legal graduated license. Here's the rules you must follow at each level. Level 2. Okay. What? Okay. Level 2 lasts for at least 12 months. At this level, you have more privileges because of your driving experience. At level 2, you must not drive if you have been drinking alcohol. Your blood alcohol level must be 0. I knew that. Each person in the vehicle must have a working seatbelt. Okay. In addition, the following restrictions apply between the hours of midnight and 5 a.m. to G2 drivers aged 19 years and under. So that doesn't apply to me. In the first 6 months after receiving your G2 license, you're allowed to carry only one passenger aged 19 or under. If you're 19 or under. After to G2 driver's age. Okay. After 6 months with your G2 license and until you obtain your full G2 license or turn 20, you are allowed to carry up to 3 passengers aged 19 or under. So as long as you're over 20, you can have 4 people in your car. That's fine. Exemptions. The passenger restrictions for G2 drivers aged 19 and under do not apply if you are accompanied by a fully licensed driver in the front passenger seat, or if the passengers are members of your immediate family. Okay. After 12 months at level 2, you may take a road test to qualify for full license privileges, which means you can have a little bit of alcohol in your system. Pass the G... blah, blah, blah. It is now law that all young drivers 21 and under, regardless of license class, must have a blood alcohol level of 0. That's new. That's new. A restricted Class M license for limited... blah, 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 blah. I don't even know that. Okay, so that's all. That's all. That's all, guys. No alcohol. It's like 0 alcohol. And each person must have a working seatbelt, so I can't, like, cram a car. Well, I don't think you can cram a car anyway, but just have to... I can't... You know, if one of the seatbelts ain't working, sorry, bud, you can't sit... You can't ride with me. Okay. That's fair. That's it. That's it, guys. Those are my only restrictions. So, as I've mentioned before, when I was younger, and I first had my driver's license, how old was I? I was working at StarTech, which is a call center company, telemarketing call center company. But I was doing customer service. I was doing customer service for AT&T Singular, AT&T Wireless Singular. I think one of them bought the other one at some point, so we switched over. So I was doing that. I went out to a pool hall, had a couple drinks. I believe at some point during the night there was 2 girls making out with each other in the back of my van and fondling each other. I believe that was that night. And I decided to drive home. I lived a little bit out of town. I had a big Gladiator van. So I fucking drive home, and I wasn't drunk, but I went through a ride program. Can I do Uber? Do I have a car? No, I don't have a car. I just got my license today. Like, I can drive alone. So give me a few there. Can I do Uber? No. There is no Uber in Cornwall, by the way. They got that shit locked down. You have to get approved, I believe, by city council or something to allow Ubers. But city council makes money from the annual taxi license fees that you have to have. So there's like a little bit of a racket going on in Cornwall. The cab drivers do not want Uber in fucking Cornwall. And that's happened in other places, but they got overridden. But yeah, no Uber in Cornwall. There is Uber Eats though. So, and DoorDash. And Skip the Dishes. So anyway, I was driving home, had a couple drinks. Went through a ride program, which is like an alcohol, like a drunk driving stop point for that police put up at random spots. And yep, he asked me if I had a couple drinks, and I said I sure did. Just a couple. And he got me out and made me do a fucking test there. I don't remember what activities I had to do, but so I think I passed the sobriety test for the whatever I had to do, like walk in a straight line with my feet and all that shit. but and then he gave me a breathalyzer, and I blew .04. I blew .04, and the legal limit was, I believe, it was either .08 or .06. I don't think that's changed. Let me just see what the legal alcohol limit is for G drivers. What's legal alcohol limit driving in Ontario? .08. Yeah. So it's .08. I blew .04. And I did not get a DUI, but I did get a breach of my G2 conditions charge. I had to pay for it, but I had to tow my fucking van home, and also I got a ticket. So I was still living with my parents. I guess I was like, yeah, so I think I was like 23. I was still living with my parents. 22 or 23. And I went home on the internet, and I could pay for my ticket right online. So I used my credit card. I paid for the ticket, which is essentially pleading guilty and accepting your sentence. And then 2 weeks after that, the same cop who did the fucking breathalyzer and everything, he showed up at my house with my parents right there. He's like, yeah, I gotta reissue that ticket. We messed up on the first ticket. So they put like the wrong area or something, or postal code or something, to where the incident happened. They fucked up on the first ticket. So I was like, whoa, I already paid for that ticket, man. Like, you can't give me another one. This is double jeopardy, is what I said. And he's like, well, you're gonna fight this in court then. That's exactly what I did. Second ticket, I fucking went to court with my receipt from the first one, which was essentially the proof of me pleading guilty to the crime already and accepting my punishment, even though I got refunded for the first one. And I said, I already pleaded guilty, man. You guys accepted this already. That whatever happens after that, that's not my problem. And the judge was all like, and there was like 6 cops behind me, and the fucking judge's fucking, because like when I got called to the court or whatever, and then I said what was happening, and the judge was like, come talk to me in my chambers. So I went and talked to the judge in the chambers. There was like 4 or 6 cops behind me, kind of intimidating. And we talked about it, and she agreed with me. And then I volunteered to give the price of the ticket to, well, there's no MAD, which is Mothers Against Drunk Driving. There's no MAD chapter in Cornwall. So I had a little bit of experience at the addiction center in Cornwall. So I was like, I'll donate the price of this ticket to the addiction center in Cornwall. And then I ended up with nothing from that on my driving record. So yeah, I won. I beat the charge, but it wasn't a DUI. I gotta take a piss though. Give me a second here. Give me a second. There we go. Splurge on some Panda Express DoorDash? Panda Express. There was a Panda restaurant. Oh no. Oh, I spilled my energy drink. There's a Panda restaurant. Chinese restaurant. I don't think it's called Panda Express, so. No, when I'm in town tomorrow, I'm going to order some fucking Cornwall pizza, but. We'll do that. We'll do that with White Tupac. I have another buddy who wants to hang out, too. Potentially. So I'm either going to hang out with him on tomorrow night or the next night on Sunday. But so I'm not going to get too sloshed at White Tupac. We'll go and hang out. I'll stream it or he'll stream it or whatever. You drink, you fucking loser? What do you mean? I don't drink that much at all. But it's been 13. Tomorrow will be 13 days in a row that I've worked. So I maybe let loose a little bit there. Don't have to be back to work until Monday. So sounds like a good time. I'm not drinking tonight. I have to work tomorrow. So I've only put in like 36 hours this week because this morning I had my driver's test, so it took out a little bit of time. Got back to work at like 11 o'clock when normally I'm like, this week I've been starting at like 7:30, so I lost a few hours there. So I'm taking Sunday off. Like I'm aiming for like at least 50 hours a week right now, but I'll probably, if I put in 8 hours or 7 hours tomorrow, I'll only have like 43, but that's cool. I said 13 days in a row 2 days ago. Well, 2 days ago, how can I work 13 days in a row when I'm in the tent for only 10 days? I said I want to work 13. I've said I want to work 13 days in a row, and that's what I'm doing. I could have took today off if I wanted to. I didn't. Came in and did 5 hours after I fucking finished all the ceilings in the second room, which they needed to be done for the work that's being done this weekend. So I went and just fucking did it. Story falling apart. Oh, you guys. I have so much information, so much details that your minds are like confusing things. Basically, no way I passed the test. I did. I gave a full description of what happened earlier. I don't really want to repeat it, but they did give me 3 procedures I needed to do, which was an uphill park. Okay, so you got to put your wheels out towards the road and then e-brake when you park next to the curb. And they also made me do a 3-point turn, which I haven't done in a long fucking time, I'll tell you right now. But you got to make sure you're looking, even if you have a little screen, like for reverse, you still got to be looking out, like for road test purposes, you got to be looking out the back, or just safety purposes in general. You have to be looking at your back window when you're going reverse. Oh, thank you, L Powers. I'm pretty sure they're able to as well. They just choose not to. Because it's so difficult to actually bust my balls on something legitimate. You know what I mean? Normally they go into chats and like, you meth head. But that doesn't work on me. Yeah, so I had to do a 3-point turn. And I also had to do a parallel park, which is not something that I rarely ever do. Like if I'm driving and I'm like, oh fuck, I got a parallel park here, I'm like, I'm finding somewhere else to park. That's usually my way of doing it when I'm driving. But nope, he made me do it, and I did it. Boom, boom. Oh, you're talking about the cancer with the chemicals. Yeah, I don't know about that. Deadly chemicals. I don't know about that. Make money inhaling chemicals. I did get burned by the soap though that I'm using right now to clean. Yeah, I don't know. Are you a little behind on the script right now? I'm not spraying pesticides or herbicides. I'm spraying soap because I'm a cleaner right now, cleaning pig shit. And yeah, pig shit is probably not good to fucking ingest, so I'm pretty fucking careful. But the soap we use, it's pretty strong. I learned my lesson. So now I tuck my sleeves into my rubber gloves when I fucking... Soap kills good bacteria, bozo. Gringo! Day 12, no proof of pig farm. As I've said with Faithless Follower, man, if you're correct, no proof of pig farm. But if you're doubting my stories, my super elaborate stories, you got trust issues, bro. You got trust issues. I think you got a negative worldview. If you can't trust me, you know what I mean? Yeah, but Maxim 71, I'm already past my expected life, or my already beyond my life expectancy. All right, by my standards. So everything that's going on right now is just gravy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Rain. It rained a lot last night. And I woke up, my nose was stuffed, and like it just sucked. Had to find some fucking paper or napkins or something. Oh, look what I got, guys, by the way. Look what I was gifted today. This shit is gold. See that? Curds. This is cheese curd. This is like the spot around where we live. This is a spot. The squeak on this shit. You guys will be able to hear it. It'll overpower. Okay, I'm gonna eat some. Give me a second here. Oh yeah. Good job killing all your good bacteria by taking soap baths for a job. I'm not taking soap baths, okay? I'm spraying soap that is strong enough to remove shit stains, okay? Shit stains that have probably been there for like a year, maybe. Maximum a year. They do a cleanup like this every year, so. I'm just saying. It's got to remove bacteria and shit. And literally shit. But what sucks, what I found out after my first 2 days of scrubbing ceilings, which by the way, I'm just getting fucking cut. Don't let that shit trickle on your arm. Okay? I was like rolling up my sleeves and like it was just going on there, and then, you know, it starts kind of stinging, so you wipe it off, but then like it keeps dripping on there, and like, anyway, so it was bad. That was bad. I put some cream on today. Okay, let's open up these fucking delicious. This is like a delicacy right here. How do I open it? My skin is the biggest organ in my body, yeah. But here's the thing, I'm required to take a shower after the job, okay? So like, I got my fucking no-name brand fucking body wash, bro. Got a problem with that too? Spraying bleach. I think there's chlorine in this. I think there's chlorine in this chemical. This spray. I think that's what burns. What, dying faster? Good job dying faster, Mr. Chemical Guy. We're all dying faster, bro. If you think that's bad, I don't know. What do I enjoy about Nicole Arbor's latest content? I don't even remember what it was about. It was kind of funny, I think. I laughed. I watched it and I laughed. What was it? Oh, I'd have to check. I forget. Alright, guys. Alright. Listen for the squeak, okay? You hear that? Do you hear that? Is that government cheese? No, this is St. Albert's cheese. Cheddar cheese curds. Yummy. It's just like $7 a bag. You'll never see an owner spraying those chemicals. Oh. Well, this is like what you put on poutine. Ask my boss to show me how to do it. If you apply it carefully, you don't like inhale it. But it's debatable whether the chemicals we're using. I know there's been some pretty big lawsuits with glyphosate or whatever, but it's still debatable. There's also been cases that have been like thrown out. So I think it's case by case. I'm not denying that there's hazards to it. I just don't care. Do those come out squeaky as well? Can you guys hear the squeak, or is it just me? Like, I hear it. Yeah. Jojo Dogman knows what's up. You can't hear it? Okay, let me get close to the microphone. You can tell it's a high-level curd when the squeak is fucking... is there. What happens is they dry out. They dry out. Like, this will probably dry out a little bit by tomorrow. Maybe should put it in the fridge. Maybe not. Here, I'll try and get down on the microphone. Okay. Do you hear that? Let me buy some additional gear for my health. Well, I mean, like, I spray pretty far from where I am. Like, I guess the hazard comes if you're like walking through a field where you sprayed, but like the techniques I generally use is to spray backwards, like walk backwards and spray. And a lot of the times, dude, we're spraying from a truck. Like, while, like, you know what I mean? It's the truck booms that are fucking handling. Here's one squeak. Okay, I'll put a bigger piece in here. This is probably like a $7 bag. 7 or 8 bucks. Number one fan, what up? Passed my road test this morning. Flying colors. I even asked the guy after. I was like, was there anything I could improve on? He's like, oh, you're pretty good. He's like, just maybe, he's like, you don't need to stop at the railroad tracks. You know, he's like, you can just slow down. But I like flat out stopped at them just to like be super safe. And people were honking behind me. Fuck. Cause they probably figured like it was close to the road test area, so they probably figured they were just honking at a fucking new driver. So it is a long weekend. It's the same chemical. It's the same chemical companies that like create the GMO fucking seeds that are like herbicide resistant and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like apparently like this glyphosate stuff. It can kill a lot of different weeds. Some herbicides are like specifically for specific types of weeds, like say like a broadleaf plant. Other ones are kind of like kill-all. Glyphosate would be more in the, I believe, or glyphosate, I don't even know how to say it, but it would be more in the kill-all category, I believe. But like corn, you can spray it on corn and it won't fucking kill corn, because I'm pretty sure that the seeds are resistant to specific herbicides. You saw a cement mixer get hit by a train. Guess who won? Probably the train. It depends how big the train is, but probably the train won. Did I think I failed after they honked? Hell no. I would have failed if I fucking stuck my finger out at them. Probably though. They use glyphosate and Roundup. Yes, they do. And for that is what Roundup is basically, is glyphosate. It's a lower concentration of it. But there's a lot of pesticides that are actually banned for like personal use, and like what we use, like the glyphosate that we use, is not allowed for personal use. But you are allowed to use it against specific noxious or invasive species of plants, such as wild parsnip. Gringo. What is Canada's national food? Don't tell me it's poutine. Poutine might be Quebec's provincial national food. Canada's national food? Fuck, I don't know. Maple syrup? I don't know. That's a good question, man. Do we even have a national food? Ham? Bacon? What would our national food be? If I could think of it. I'm gonna have to Google that shit. What is Canada's national food? Like, what's America's national food? Hot dogs? Canada's unofficial national dish is poutine, a popular Quebecois dish of French fries topped with cheese curds and a savory brown gravy. It's actually called poutine sauce officially. Canadian cuisine consists of cooking traditions and practices of Canada with regional variances around the country. First Nations have culinary dishes. Okay. Pancake breakfast. Dulce and lobster in the Maritimes. Deer meats in the Northern Territories. Salmon and crab in British Columbia. Maple syrup in Central Canada. Nothing specific. Oat cakes. Wild turkeys. Yeah, I've seen a few of those. That's what I was thinking about. If I heard an animal the other night walk by, I was like, maybe that was a wild turkey. Congrats, sick of it. Deer meat, yeah. Apple pie, number one. Oh wait, no, you're number one chatter. Number one top fan. Yeah, who's the top fans right now? We got Faithless Follower, number one, tied with Kip and L Powers. Then we got Jojo Dogman, then Oliver Jabroni, then Dread. Dread's in chat? What? Ronald McDonald, Vasietti. This must be from previous streams. How many accounts you got, Gringo? Okay. Do I eat deer meat regularly? Very non-regularly. The last case of deer meat I've had was probably a jerky. It was probably deer meat jerky. Yeah. I think White Tupac gave me some jerky one time. Might have been goose? Might have been goose jerky? Oh, number one fan is the number one fan. Max, have you tried to save me? Yeah. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, bro. Goose jerky, yeah. Will they gift me a pig when this gig is up? That would be awesome, as long as I don't have to butcher it. If they gave me like a full pig butchered and cut that I can put in my freezer or something, that would be an awesome gift. That would be a cool bonus. I would enjoy that. But I don't know how that works. What I know is that they're receiving their next shipment of pigs in November. I don't know where they get the pigs from, but they're getting a bunch of pigs here. And so we're cleaning up for their next batch of pigs. Better be careful, pigs are mean. So one thing I've learned talking to the guy who runs the pigs, he's my supervisor, but he like basically runs the pig farm. He's not like the big boss, but he runs the pig farm. He has said that like he said that some of the pig pens remain like relatively clean, and some of the pig pens just get filthy because of certain pigs that are in them. So what that just led me to believe, we didn't go too in depth in the conversation, but what that leads me to believe is that like pigs, just like humans, have like different personalities. So I would say that some pigs are mean, probably, and restless and ruthless and whatever, and other ones are just nice, chill fucking pigs, you know what I mean, who like to clean themselves. I don't know. Pigs are smart. Yeah, I've heard that. I've also learned from like Joe Rogan that if you take like one of these pigs and you like release it into the wild, and they become feral very quickly, and they turn into a wild boar. It goes here. What up? They don't call it Roundup anymore? I don't know, man. I don't know. Mr. Grapefruit, what? Who's Joe Rogan? He's some kind of podcaster or something. I think he has a small following. I don't know, he's like basically poor, I think. It's still Roundup. Some pigs are neat freaks. Yeah, I think so. I will say, like, it doesn't smell as much like pig shit in the barn anymore. And here's another thing. Here's another thing. So, like, when I'm scrubbing the walls, the walls, I know it's getting clean when I smell a whiff of pig shit. Because I've, like, loosened it off the fucking wall. And then I can smell it. And I can see in the soap that it's getting brown. I'm like, yes, I'm doing my job well. I'm getting it. Yeah. Like, oh, that one was caked. You know? Do I wear a mask? I wear a mask when I'm scrubbing ceilings. They have it's very well ventilated. There's fans and stuff, so it's more so I don't get the soap in my mouth while I'm like fucking scrubbing up. I also wear a face shield or safety goggles. But yeah. You would hire me, thank you. Here's the thing as well. Here's another thing. It's that like my last 2 real jobs, okay, before I started herbicide spraying, you know, not including MC Frosty as a real job, which it is and was, but my 2 previous real jobs before that were supervisor, coordinator of a manufacturing line. It's where I was responsible for like the employees and shit. I guess the job before that was the entry-level job into that company, which is a tester, so not including the tester. But before that, I was an assistant supervisor or team leader at a telemarketing place. So I know what I look for in a good employee. I know what I look for in a good employee. And being like the employee now, I know how to be a better employee because I've been in those situations of recognizing the traits, such as do your fucking job, don't complain, be positive. I'm always saying good morning to everybody every morning. Don't refuse work. Don't refuse work. You know, I mean, if it's something that you don't think you can do, which I haven't encountered yet, but if it is something that you don't think you can do, at least try it. At least try and do it, and then you have a reason to be like, oh, I can't do this or whatever. But like, just fucking do it. Just do what you're fucking told, basically. You know what I'm saying? Am I a poker player now, Frosty? Well, I've been a poker player for a long time. If you check my Poker Stars little icon there, I've played over 250,000 real money hands. Under 500,000, but at some point I'll hit 500,000. I don't know. It's probably like 200 to 300 hands in a typical tournament. So, climb my way up. But yeah. And so I've heard at the Christmas party at this company, they have a poker game. And when I was at the electronics manufacturing plant, a group of us would have a monthly little poker night where it was just like $5 per tournament, and I would win most of them, and I stopped getting invited back to those. Gringo, I'm not allowed to show any work property. Can't do it. Can't do it. I could go for a walk on the street. Sure. But I ain't doing it right now. Cover phone. No. Find it rude when someone's doing a job like yours, and when done, just throw down the tools and leave a mess. Yeah, so the tools that I use are basically a spray bottle for the soap, a water bucket, which eventually turns into a shit soap water bucket, and a brush. A brush with like a 4-foot handle on it to scrub. I was given a new tool the other day with a new brush with like it's just better brush than what I'm using. I think one's an acid brush or something that I was using, and the other one's more like a floor scrubber or something like that. So I have options. One was more softer bristles and whatever. Those are basically my tools. Oh, then I have rubber gloves, and I have my PPE mask. Like today I was using a mask and goggles, rubber gloves, and whatever. Well, I'm always wearing rubber gloves, but I just don't want to get that soap on my hands. Fuck. Why is pig shit on ceilings? That's a good fucking question. It's a good question. They must be acting like pigs and shit and getting it everywhere, but yeah. Am I using glyphosate? Well, not right now, cleaning, but yeah, we use glyphosate for certain jobs. Yeah. No, the soap we use here right now, this is like the first level soap. It's called Foam Ease. Foam Ease. EZE. C100. Oh, the soap we're using is not Roundup. Roundup is a fucking herbicide, bro. This guy's just talking shit. He's just like trying to like. He's just trying to, like, he came in, like, I don't know, I'm guessing he came in assuming that I'm still spraying herbicides, and then he fucking has now, like, been trying to, like, cover his ass and, like, incorporate his previous complaints into, like, my current job or something, like, yeah. Soap doesn't hurt your hands. Well, industrial soap does. Would I ever try pickled pig's feet? Fuck yeah. I'm not picky, man, on food. I don't know if you noticed. You know what I mean? I've eaten a can of dog food on stream, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I think I'd try pickled pig's feet, yeah. Yeah. I'd probably eat pickled anything. They make you wear gloves to apply cleaners again. I wear gloves. I have nitrile gloves, and I also have, like, straight up rubber gloves. I wear also work gloves under these rubber gloves because they're like yellow and they're big and they're not. I don't have very good dexterity on them, but what happens is my hands start sweating, and then I become like more prone to blisters on my hands, and also the gloves stink when you start getting fucking sweat in there. So I wear my work gloves underneath so that it absorbs the sweat, so that my gloves don't end up stinking. He'll eat pig's feet, but not peanut butter cups. Of course, like I've probably eaten more peanut butter cups on the show than you've eaten in your life, faithless follower. Assuming you're human. Okay, I'm gonna take my boots off now. It's not soap. We use it like a soap. You know the industrial wipes that come in huge buckets? I don't know them, but I can imagine them. Yeah, it's getting dark. And I do have to work in the morning too, guys, so I'm not going to stream that much longer, I don't think. Oh, I watched a movie last night, Eeny Meeny. It was alright. It's alright. It was about this chick who's like a criminal getaway driver, basically, from childhood age. It was pretty good, though. Not 5 o'clock yet. There. Yeah, it's getting lighter every or darker earlier every day. Well, oh yeah. Well, I have a drum circle and a bonfire here. I'll put it on my cell phone light here so you guys can see me a little bit better. There we go, guys. Viewer retention. So yeah, we'll grow this hair out as long as I can. We'll get Aaron to fucking shred it up. Happy Gilmore 2 was awful. Shut it off after what they did with Eric Andre. I don't know, man. Like, what do you expect, though? What do you expect? Like, clearly that movie is for the hardcore fans of Happy Gilmore. And I would say that, the hardcore fans. Like, it wasn't even released in theaters, was it? It was just Netflix. You know what I mean? It had some laughs. You know what I mean? Like if you appreciate the scene with Eminem, you know what I mean? Jackass. Like, that was like so stupid. That was so, in reality, that was so fucking stupid, but it's kind of great. It was kind of great for that, you know what I mean, to bring that back, you know? Yeah, Rip Joe Flaherty, exactly. I mean, it was funny. Like, I enjoyed it for what it was. But yeah, no, as a standalone movie, like, if you never saw the first Happy Gilmore, it's not really that good of a movie. Or the train, yeah. Did I pass out with a spotlight on my face the other night? Yeah. Yeah, Gringo said I wasn't the old Frosty because I wasn't doing a lot fucking sleep stream, so I was like, okay, fine. And you can't really see my face if I don't leave a light on. So fortunately, I've done plenty of live streams with like lights on and shit, so whatever. But last night it rained like a motherfucker, and it was getting wet in here. Fuck. Not that bad. It was only at the edges, so like I could feel moistness at my toes with my sleeping bag was just kind of getting like, if I stretch out, I'm like full blown, like the entire length of this fucking thing. But did it dry out today? Yeah, it dried out. My phone dried out too. Like when I tried to charge it this morning, it was like, no, it's too moist. Whatever connections are too moist. I was like, oh fuck, I have to buy a wireless charger. But after work, I plugged it in, and it worked. The Platform. I seen it. Is that the one? Is that the one where they're in like a 2-person jail cell on a fucking multi-platform jail cell fucking thing? Is that the one? Yeah. And there's a sequel to it too. I watched the sequel. I personally don't like movies like that. where there's like only like 2 people in it for the whole fucking thing. I mean, there were the other convicts or whatever, but I mean, it was all right. I did watch it, so I didn't turn it off. It was all right. You know, psychological banter movie. They're not really convicts, I guess. I forget how they get in there. Do they volunteer or something to go in there for something? I forget. The second one was wild. Yeah. Yeah, true. That's a movie you don't really want to spoil. You're right. There is a payoff. We'll say that. There's payoff to that movie. Both of them. Like, it's kind of slow, but there is payoff. I hang on the train tracks with my dog all the time. We had a guy walk up there and say, "What's up, bro?" He stared a little more than get walking. So, okay, number one fan, dogs and railroad tracks. Okay, so in a lot of municipalities and some provinces, as I was mentioning, glyphosate is actually banned as a residential or even commercial weed killer, unless you get approval to spray it for specific noxious or invasive species. However, federally, it is not illegal. It is not banned. So, railroad tracks fall under federal transport guidelines and regulations. So, they are allowed to spray glyphosate on the tracks, which is what I actually did last year when I worked for Asplin. So just be careful. I'm just saying. They should send notices out when they are spraying. Yeah, I said be careful, Maxim. Yeah. I don't know the effects on small animals, but you may want to check. You may want to check and see, if they're like CN rails, like whoever owns the rails, you can probably find out what their spraying schedule is like. Just saying. Bull Monkey, good morning. Got my passed my road test this morning. I can drive alone now. Only 2 rules. 2 rules aside from the regular rules. Like 2 restrictions, I should say, aside from a full license. I have to have no alcohol in my system whatsoever. And secondly, I have to have enough working seat belts for every passenger that's in the car or vehicle. So let's say the back seat of the Roadmaster, middle fucking seatbelt won't clip. The clip's broken. Then I can't have someone sitting there. Being burnt alive by chemicals for a small paycheck. Bro, how many cigarettes have I smoked, bro? Like, if you want to do some concerns for my health, and like I've literally smoked half a pack on this stream right now. That's after smoking a pack today. Okay, like barking up the wrong tree, man. Like, you think I care? It's the graduated licensing program. Yes. So G1, which is what I had, that's learner's permit. You need to have an experienced driver of like 5 years in the passenger seat while you drive. So I was able to like drive my work truck on occasion, as long as my partner had their full license, which they did. So I drove that maybe like twice this year, and now with the G2, I can drive a truck by myself. So next year when I'm spraying, I will have the ability to run a truck instead of being the guy in the passenger seat. So that's pretty cool. That's an extra driver for my boss to now run an extra truck, which is more money. Just saying. And when we spray from the truck, Maxim, that's like the safest. That's the safest because we're using the booms on the truck too, and there's switches, and we just turn it off and on, whatever. That's the safest form of spraying. Yeah. And right now, like clearly I'm not a bad employee because like my boss hooked up the vehicle and the person to take me to the fucking test, and I even offered them $100. I was like, here, I'm gonna give you $100 for your time today for taking me. He's like, no, don't worry about it. I'm like, sweet, okay. I offered him like 4 times, and he's like, no, I'm not taking it. But yeah, Bull Monkey, I drove a Lexus for my driving test today. I felt baller. I'm just saying. There was no other luxury vehicles fucking parked in the fucking parking lot. I had the nicest car. It was awesome. I did 3 maneuvers that were like part of the test. Uphill park, turn the wheels out to the road, e-brake next to the curb, no problem. I did a fucking except when I tried to take the e-brake off, I accidentally popped the hood. I wasn't sure. It was my first time driving this vehicle, and I fucking just hit the switch, like the little lever that was above the e-brake. I thought it was like to release it. No, I popped the hood by accident, and then I got back in the car and just pressed on the e-brake, and it came right out. Like quick little tap, and it fucking released itself. And then I had to do a 3-point turn, which I've done many times in my past, but I hadn't done it in probably like 15 years. And then I did a parallel park, the big fearful fucking parallel park. Yeah, there was a truck on my right side. There was no other car behind, so that made it a lot easier. But there's always potential for collision if you don't know what you're doing with a fucking parallel park on a vehicle there. You know what I mean? Like you swing it the wrong way, or you turn it too early, or whatever. You can fuck shit up. And I did not. I nailed it. So yeah. When you said 3-point turn, I fucking totally forgot. I was like, fuck. My muscle memory fucking kicked in. Because here's the trick, right? If you never did a 3-point turn, is like, okay, so like you turn into the road, you drive like basically the other side, don't hit the curb with your wheels or anything, and then you like swing your wheel back the other way and reverse. You got to make sure you're looking backwards while you're reversing as well. Just saying, that's the safest way to do it and what you're supposed to do. And then while you're like at the end of your reversal, before you stop, you got to start swinging the fucking wheel the other direction before you stop. You don't want to do dry steering. So that's the fucking trick right there. So you're already turned and ready to go back on the road. That was like driver's ed kicking in right there. That I took 25 years ago. Weed didn't do it for me. Now I'm huffing these fucking Roundup. Okay, watching the MC Frosty show, you should have at least said meth right there. Okay? If you're talking about brain damage from drugs, you should have at least said meth right there. Okay? Nessa Ammo, holy shit! What up? Been a while. Hope you're well. Yeah, I just got my fucking, yeah, there we go. This guy's fucking The meth didn't do enough. There you go. That would have gave your trolling statement a little more oomph, if you ask me. It was pretty funny. We didn't do it for you, but I'm just saying I would have laughed a little harder if you said the meth didn't do it for you. Okay, just from troll to troll. Just, trying to save me, bro. We're already dead, man. Just enjoy life, dude. Enjoy the shit here, the money I make in doing this. You know what I mean? I'm taking my daughter to Suicide Boys in like fucking less than a month. You know what I mean? Like I'm on borrowed time, man. Like I thought I was gonna be gone by the time I'm 40. I'm just loving life right now. You know what I mean? Do a poker stream, man. I gotta work tomorrow. We're gonna end the stream real soon. Hope you're doing well. Yes, it's been too long. So I got my driver's license today, Nessa Ammo. So I have my learners, but I got my G2, so I can drive by myself now. Bada boom, bada boom. New phase in life. It's back. The freedom. The freedom is I can do whatever I want. Okay, Maxim. Every chemical that you use has a safety data sheet, okay? It lists the hazards. It lists the ways to avoid these hazards, okay? I read these fucking things. I fucking follow these fucking things. I'm not saying it eliminates the fucking potential for hazard entirely, okay? But WHMIS, okay? I have a certificate for WHMIS. Whatever hazardous material information safety, whatever the fuck that stands for, worldwide, blah, 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 okay? You follow the shit, okay? And it reduces your risk, okay? Okay? Is there anything else you want me to say? Yeah, there's cases of people who come down with fucking shit, but maybe they didn't fucking read the fucking safety data sheet, bro. You know what I mean? Not everybody who smokes cigarettes gets cancer either, you know what I'm saying? People have different biologies, okay? If you ask me, I'm fucking immortal, bro. I don't know why I'm still alive, but I'm still fucking here, okay? Like, I appreciate the concern, but I'm also, not trying to kill myself with these fucking chemicals, so I do take the time to read the shit and follow the fucking instructions that have been made by people smarter than you and smarter than me. Cool? Are we cool? I'm not drinking the shit. But for a $500 donation, I would probably drink a fucking shot of glyphosate. You want to put that up? No, I'm just joking. L Powers, exactly. COVID, for instance. and there's probably trace amounts of this shit in the entire food supply. I'm just saying, the animals you eat have probably fucking ingested something along the way, maybe. I don't know. Just saying. But I appreciate the concern. I know you have my safety. I know you want the MC Frosty show to last forever. Just work on the vehicle donation goal, FFS. Well, let's just see what happens. I might just be able to buy one. It's all about DNA. Exactly, number one fan. Everybody's different. Okay. What are the health risks of macing your asshole? I'm just wondering. I didn't check that out first, but can't your fucking rectum absorb shit easier than fucking I don't know. You're talking to the wrong guy about fucking personal health safety. Like, I don't even know why I had 6 kidney stones. Six, well, more than that, but 6 times I got kidney stones. Like, I don't know, dehydration. I don't know. Anyway, I don't have one right now. We're in the good times right now. No kidney stone times. Like, about the same as your nose, actually. Well, so your nose leads to your mucous membrane, right? Which is where the fucking shit actually gets absorbed into the bloodstream or whatever, right? Yeah, no kidney stones, that's ammo. I hope you're kidney stone free as well. Power, just in case my post. Oh, sorry. Oh. Kidney stones have been abundant. Your mom just went through 4 kidney stone surgeries. Shit. I had my last one in December. And as soon as I got the stent taken out of me, I snorted some meth when I got home. Yeah. That was the first thing I did. I was like, fuck yeah, no string hanging out my dick. It's go time. 7mm stone? Yeah, my last one was like 14 millimeters. Savage, bro. Yeah. Yeah. I did meth in Newfoundland. Also, I found a stream. No meth. It was too expensive. It was like straight up $100 a gram out there. I was like, no. There was a couple cocaine nights though. When I was in the park with that other drug addict, what was his name? Yeah, there was no meth there. And there was no cocaine there either. I was so blasted that day. Nope. If meth was $100 a gram, what did coke cost? Same thing. I only encountered one guy with the fucking shards. And I was like, fuck that, bro. You can get like a half a ball for that, for less than that. You can get a fucking ball for around that price. Like, fuck that. I know we're like in the middle of nowhere, but fuck you. You gave me a microphone and I was $30 crack rock blasted. No, there was no hard drugs. Yeah, for kidney stone pain, I was given Toradol, anti-inflammatory, which actually worked pretty good, but you couldn't take it more than like 7 days in a row or something, or 5 days in a row or something. It did work, but then when I got back to Cornwall and I actually booked my surgery, the doctor here gave me Percocets and hydromorphone. Those were much appreciated. It was only like 1 milligram of hydromorphone, so that didn't really do too much. But I should tell some scary stories. Well, I had a driver's test this morning, and I was on the fucking road, you know what I'm saying? And like, oh my god. stopped at the fucking railroad tracks. People were honking at me. No. They could have rear-ended me. Ah! Ah! Can I drive a snowplow? It would depend on the class of vehicle that it was. If it was a pickup truck with a plow installed on the front, I could drive that. If it was a vehicle that requires a fucking like commercial driver license or something, I don't know. If they have air brakes, basically, I think is where you need a different license. I cannot drive vehicles with air brakes. Car wreck stories. I've never been in one. You found the stream. Yeah, that's cool. Go check it out. But I wasn't on. Well, I got shit faced with that guy. We went to the bar, and not even shit faced, but we went to the bar and fucking. That was the night that I was trying to like go around and play music for people. No, let's watch together? Nah. But I know for sure that I didn't do any meth because I did no meth in Newfoundland. And I know that I wasn't on coke that day. That was the only other hard drug I've done, aside from painkillers. And, yeah. Yeah, they've given me intravenous Toradol as well. Yeah, that's like the first thing they give you now. They used to like, back around my first kidney stone, they just like be passing out the fucking opioid addiction, basically. I think they learned their lesson because of lawsuits. What does meth do for you? Does it make your life better? Like, why don't you hate it? Well, there's definitely a love and hate relation. Not love, but there's a like and hate relationship. While you're high, it's definitely helps you focus. Like whatever you're into, it makes it awesome. And specifically for me, if I get into making music while I'm well stimulated, it really helps me get shit done. It really does. Now, a downfall is that the ideas you have while you're high, you think they're awesome. You think that basically any idea or any thought that you have is like fucking awesome and blah 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 blah. But in reality, it might not be. So like bad ideas seem like good ideas, and that can start that can start you down a bad path. Especially if like, maybe you're involved in like personal drama or something like that, and like you have this fucking idea of like how to fix things or something, and fucking, but it's really a bad idea, but you're like so like, oh yeah, this is great. Okay. Now the hateful part of it is the come down, okay? When all your like dopamine and serotonin has been depleted, okay, and you haven't slept, okay, that, especially your first time doing it, maybe you haven't slept for 2 nights or you haven't slept for 3 nights or something like that. That happened to me the first time I did it, and you get a little depressed there, and everything seems like bad. It's just like your drug dealer's not going to tell you about the come down. He's not going to sell you on the come down, but the come down is real. And that's why I don't recommend that stimulant to people, okay, is because if you can't handle being depressed, okay, I have like a lot of experience being depressed, but if you can't handle being depressed, don't do fucking meth, man, because you will be like, what the fuck, I hate my life by the end of it. Okay? Just saying. But then once you build a tolerance, if you're a fucking idiot and keep fucking doing it, then the come downs aren't as bad. And in all honesty, it depends on the dosage that you do. If you did like a very small amount, like let's say like 20 milligrams or 50 milligrams or something like that, you're gonna get like an Adderall type high, which is like they do actually prescribe methamphetamine pharmaceutically for ADHD and shit like that. So like it can have its benefits, but every drug has a burnout. Yeah, exactly. But it's just pretty like if it's your first time doing meth, like it's the like you're not ready for it because you haven't been told about that. Just saying, in most cases. And like I don't think most dealers are like full disclosure, you know what I mean? But fucking is pretty fucking awesome. Fucking on meth is fucking pretty good. I had some good nights in my like late teens, early I don't know, late teens, maybe a little bit in my early adulthood. Fucking's pretty good. You got a chance for unlimited weed, cocaine, or meth, what would you select? Wow, what a good question. Oh, I've taken another piss, so I'm gonna put my shoes on. Let me think about that. Wow, that's a good question, man. Not meth. Okay, we'll rule that out. It would be between cocaine and weed. And to tell you the truth, when I was hustling both those substances in my 20s, I did pretty much have unlimited of both at the same time. So I've been there. But if I had to choose, like I've said, I've probably done about $100,000 worth of cocaine in my 20s, like probably from age 24 to like 33 or so, or somewhere around there. Give me a second. And like, is the weed we're talking about, is it like sativa, or is it indica, or is it, you know what I mean? Is like, do I have to choose one, or do I have unlimited options for both sativa and indica? That's another question too. But no, like with my experience, like there is unlimited weed out there. Like, so we're saying free unlimited? No, I would take the weed. I would take the unlimited weed. And I wouldn't do it all the time. But if I had to choose, because it's, you know what I mean? Like, if I had unlimited cocaine, because eventually it gets you. Cocaine, even weed too, will get you. But unlimited cocaine, man. There's this thing called psychosis that happens, okay? Like when you do too much, and like it's the same with weed. It's the same with all three, just different degrees of it. But like you have to do more. You have to do more. Like your tolerance builds up, so you have to do more to fucking achieve the same effect of highness. But with unlimited cocaine, you could also cook it up so that also is unlimited crack. but again, that's not even good. So, I like, I would take the unlimited weed for free. Okay. I would smoke it at my leisure. You know what I mean? I feel like I could go buy a pound right now if I wanted to, but like, that's probably the easiest to control. That's probably the easiest out of the three to control. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson with hard drugs, like not doing it a lot. Yeah, I would take weed. And then just buy my cocaine or my meth whenever I felt like it. You could grow your weed yourself. No. No. They all have a time and a place. They all have a time and a place. But both the main reason is that cocaine and meth are more problematic for you than weed. Like continuous use and daily use or whatever, which is probably what it's going to lead up to if I had unlimited, it's more problematic. Like meth will turn me into stick and bones, like sticks and bone, like skin and bones. It's just sticks, you know what I mean? And sleep deprivation is no good. If I had to rank it, I would go weed, cocaine, meth. If I had to choose. Kitties. Oh, you'll go by an 8-ball night rock and roll. That's a lot to snort. I don't know, man. If they had no negative side effects, like if there was only the good side and I would never have a heart attack, no matter how big of a line I did, just based on the high. Just that's what you're asking me. Just based on the high, like what is the better high out of all of them? Well, like, what do I enjoy more out of all of them? Like cocaine and meth are kind of similar. Except cocaine's high doesn't last as long. See, sleep is important. Sleep is important. Like, that's the thing. With meth, you just can't fucking sleep. Unless you do it, like, as soon as you wake up. And don't do it the rest of the day. Maybe you might sleep that night. But, like once. You know what I mean? But, like, cocaine, you can still sleep that night. Ugh. So yes, I like uppers more than downers. So like, sativa weed too. Like that's actually kind of like it's like a mild upper. You can't separate the side effects. You can't separate the side effects. It's impossible. Unlimited Coke for sure. Just because you have unlimited doesn't mean you have to do it all the time. Yeah, maybe. And Coke's the more expensive out of all of them. I don't know. Hard to say. Oh, bring it back to reals. Pesticides or scrubbing pig feces? I'm not minding this work at all. Okay, so like when I'm working, I'm also looking at what makes the jobs enjoyable is like the physical shape that I can get into, because it's like almost like I'm working out when I'm doing hard work. So like with herbicide spraying, simply spraying, there's not like a lot of hard work. Like there's not a lot of strain on my muscles. like last year I wasn't doing so much spraying, I was doing more mixing, because in Quebec where I worked, I was allowed to do that, and that involved me lifting heavy bottles, like heavy things of herbicide, mixing it in the tank. So that's where I got my strength from. I've in the last 2 weeks doing this cleaning, I've worked way harder than I did all year herbicide spraying. I will say that I feel a little more fulfilled doing this, because I see the direct results. I mentioned this to you before, but I see the direct results of my work. Like, and like this cleaning that I'm doing, like I'm adding that to my resume. You know what I mean? Like that's another notch in my belt of work experience. So I'm looking shredded. No, I'm not yet, but I do feel stronger. The only thing that's really been impeding my strength is like this arm has had like tendinitis or something since like day 2 or day 3. It's getting better. Today was I hardly had any pain when I was scrubbing the ceilings, which is good, which allows me to work better. But the last half hour, I fucking pushed myself today. I was like, I'm just gonna give her. I only did 5 hours, and like the last half hour, I was like, "Rah, rah." Everybody left, so I was like, I'm going to give it her right now. And I was fucking pooped after half an hour of fucking straight, like hard, like. I basically tried to do 2 pens at one time. I did what I normally do for 1 pen, and I did it on 2. And I was like, I'm just going. No smoke break. I'm going. And I think it's good to push yourself a little bit, because my feet weren't hurting because I only did 5 hours today. So it was just. But what it comes down to ultimately, if I'm going to choose something to prefer, it's where the money's at. So I'm getting paid the same for this job as I was the other job. I'm getting more hours doing this job. And it's more physical, so I feel like I'm gaining strength as a side benefit of the paycheck and the hours. It's been a little more challenging too. I do like a challenge. I like learning new things. You know, I can take what I've learned here. and I can apply it to other cleaning jobs if I ever do. So I don't know. Like herbicide spraying is also pretty easy, so it's like nice to have an easy job too, I will say. Like, aside from that one job where I was like walking for 10 hours a day doing sidewalks, like fuck that. But I still did it. It's just work, man. It's like just tell me how much you're paying me and tell me what to do. Like in my mind, there isn't really like a preferred thing. It's like the preferred thing is what I end up with in my bank account. You know what I mean? I don't know. Easy, by the way, been crying all week. Not working full days. What? Been crying all week. I haven't been crying all week. Me? My feet have hurt. Fine, fix it. What up? I miss Ozzy. I was never really into Ozzy or Black Sabbath. I mean, I like their hit. I like Black Sabbath's hits, but don't even know if I've listened to a full Black Sabbath album. I like Ozzy's hits: "Crazy Train," "No More Tears," fucking "Mama, I'm Coming Home" or something, or Perry Mason. See, I like Ozzy as a single, as a solo artist, like based on like what guitarist is in his fucking band. So Randy Rhoads is the shit. Zakk Wylde is the shit. You know, so I should listen to some Black Sabbath though, because I really have an inkling to like start a stoner rock band. So I think I could get a lot of influence from old Black Sabbath. If I had a friend that had a job to clean machines, and he quit like a pussy. You know what makes a really big difference though? It's like who you're working with as well. So like obviously the job is more enjoyable if your coworkers are fucking cool. So that and everybody I'm working with on this job is fucking cool. With herbicide spraying, so far to my experience, most of it is with like one teammate, although we have had some group spraying sessions and whatever. But if you happen to be teamed up with a fucking douchebag by chance, then that's really makes the job suck more. I'm not saying that's happened, but I could imagine that fucking happening. Am I going to hang out with any of my coworkers outside of work? Unlikely. I mean, I'll go to the Christmas party. But I plan for most of my, like, recreational... Hey! That's not nice.
Bull Monkey donated 20 Danish kroner through Super Chat. Eye power is worse than a yeast infection discharge.
That's not very nice. Thank you very much for the donation, though. Very gracious and generous. Appreciate that. You guys got beef. $59,000 watching Aiden play NBA 2K. Wow. Streaming with a coworker would be an easy way to prove you're not lying. I fucking... based on experience, I really gotta be selective. I really have to be selective in who I bring on stream, okay? You guys can be fucking savages, and not everyone is willing or prepared to deal with some of you guys in chat, okay? And as a human being, I don't necessarily want to put people in that position, okay? And you guys showed me since, like, the very first person I decided to bring on my stream, who is fucking... What was her name? What was that chick's name? And it got... what was her name? I forget. Anyway. When you guys found out that she had a kid with a black dude and the insults that were being thrown, I don't even know why she divulged that information, but the insults that were being thrown, mud something? Anyway, I did not appreciate that, whether I was laughing on the inside myself or not, okay? Okay? So, no. There's boundaries, guys, and I don't want to shit where I eat, okay? So, my priority is not proving to you that I have a job. My priority is using the funds that I receive from this job for good things, such as fucking taking my daughter on trips, hanging out more with my daughter, whatever, and also using those funds to now progress the MC Frosty show, which involves you guys. So that's going to be your proof. If you can just exercise a little patience. You know what I'm saying? Unless, faithless follower, you want to personally donate. Well, since you only do super chats, you would have to personally donate $6,000 a month for me to gain. I mean, then there's income tax on that. So $7,000 a month for me to Okay, not US. So 5,000 US a month to me. Then I wouldn't need a job. When's Obeezy Frosty collab? Well, there was a Zobane in chat the other day. Probably got banned, but he was just trolling. He was trolling. I got nothing against Zobane. Is he still streaming? I don't think streaming is that good for his mental, emotional state. Like, you know what I mean? Okay, Maxim. The reason is that YouTube takes 50% of super chats. Okay. All right. Now, at first, I was thinking in Canadian dollars. Okay. And then I adjusted for American dollars, which is about a 30% fucking exchange rate. Okay. So when I said 7,000, I meant 7,000 Canadian. And I reduced that down to 5,000 because that's approximately 30% less. And then so 7,000 Canadian, and you take 50% from the YouTube cut of that leaves me with about 3,500. Okay. And right now I clear about 3,000 a month, 3,100 approximately. Okay. So I'm just saying. But I'm working seasonally. I don't work the year long. Okay. Last year was kind of fucky on my off season. Okay. Got back into a relationship, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Check the streams, depression, whatever you want to fucking go. Okay. I'm in a much better state right now, mental state. It's kind of crazy how, like, after the recent breakup, like, some good things, the universe has been bringing me good things, which I think are like signs to like get back on my path of like achieving my personal goals. You know, my personal goals, kind of like the path to my personal goals that I've set a long time before even I started streaming, I got kind of diverted, let's just say, for the last few years. Although I was trying to achieve maybe even a greater goal than what I thought I wanted. But I tried. But no, I think we're going to go back to like the original plan here. But now I'm happy. I'm happy to have gotten back into the work market because honestly, like, being sober is good for me. Okay. Like, when I was doing the MC Frosty show, like, full time and whatever, like, I was smoking a lot of weed every day. I'm just saying. And that affected me. That affected me. Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad in terms of entertainment purposes. But a clear mind helps with, like, at least thinking properly. By properly, I mean, like, realistically and, like, unobstructed. Move back in a small studio, $400 a month and 24 Frosty content. Well, I don't want to lose the place that I have, okay? But what I have been considering, Gringo, is perhaps renting an Airbnb for a month here and there. Different locations. That's a possibility as well. So I'm thinking of a lot of options. Doesn't have to be in Cornwall. But you need to know that if I do 24-hour Frosty content, I am sacrificing my employment insurance for those weeks. So I need to have a bankroll to back my ass up, and I would hope that there was revenue generation from the MC Frosty show. So I'd have to deliver the content in order to ensure that. I'm well aware of that. Airbnb too expensive, $30-$50 for a cheap night. Okay, $30 to $50 for a cheap price. That's $1,500 a month is what you're saying. The Airbnb that I just paid for in Montreal for Heartbeats was approximately $1,800 a month. So that would be $60 a day. And that was a 2-bedroom fucking little condo. So it's doable. I'm probably going to have, like, by the time I'm done work, I'll probably have about 6 to 7 grand banked. And, yeah. So I don't need a 2-bedroom. I'm just saying, there's other places. We checked out a whole bunch, but there's other places, $1,400 a month, blah, 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 blah. There's restrictions, though, sometimes on Airbnbs where they say no commercial photography allowed. So those I have to, like, weed out and check out. And that's Montreal. Like, there's... I paid her rent. I paid. It was a trip that we had booked while we were still together for her and her son, because eventually the plan was for her to move down to Cornwall next year, and I wanted to introduce them to the area, and I thought that getting a place in Montreal as like a home base would be better. After I paid for the Airbnb, I had broken up with her, and I kept my word on my obligations that were going to happen. So I also gave her like another $1,500 in spending money. So that was a pretty big expense, but I'm happy to have provided a good experience for her and her son, regardless of the relationship status. It was a nice thing for me to do. I affected positivity in other people's lives. Thank you, Jim. Yep. I could have been a douchebag when I broke up and been like, now you don't have any spending money and I'm going to keep this money. But she had paid for the flights already and like whatever. So I just didn't want to fuck her over regardless of the relationship breaking up. Yeah. That's like, you know what I mean? Hold your head up high, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just, you know. It's not like I haven't cared for her in the past, you know what I mean? So it is still a nice thing to do, and it would have been a clear-cut douchebag move for me to, like, you know, use a relationship breakup to, like, cause additional drama and whatever. So that money was already gone in my mind before we broke up, so it was like whatever. And as the universe has provided, since then is when I got the job offer for the cleaning, okay, for this cleaning position, which in the end I'm making back that money and another like $3,000. So is the universe now adjusting because of me, you know, still being positive and giving out the good vibes and not drawing negativity? You know what I mean? Like, getting more hours now. Since the breakup, I'm getting more hours. I'm working longer now. I just got my fucking driver's license now without a hitch. And I'm doing a good job at this. Like, you know, my boss wouldn't have hooked up the ride for the test if I was a shitty employee. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, well, fuck yourself. Find your own shit. But like I told you guys, like, my first official day on the job here, like, so I did some training at home, some internet training that I got paid for. But my first official day on the job was an orientation here, okay? And I biked, pedal bike, no e-bike, 4 hours to get out to the head office of this fucking place. Because they were like, yeah, come in tomorrow. Be here between 7 and 8. So I biked 2.5 hours the night before. I crashed at a friend's house. And then I biked an hour and a half in the morning to fucking get here, okay? So I showed them on day fucking 1 what I'm willing to do for this fucking job. Okay? And now, like, it was kind of difficult to prove it while I was spraying. Like, I was like the new guy and whatever. You know what I mean? I didn't miss. I missed 2 days when I took my daughter to that concert. But other than that, I showed up every fucking day, and I didn't. And when he was like, "Yo, we're gonna switch you over to this cleaning job," I didn't put up a fight. I was like, "Yes, thank you for the opportunity." You said till November? Perfect. Thank you. And even though I have very little experience cleaning, I'm fucking doing everything I'm told. And like maybe the one thing is I'm being a little annoying because I'm like double checking to make sure I'm using the right brushes. I want you exactly. I make sure, like, before I start doing something, I make sure I know exactly what I'm doing. And that can be annoying because maybe the things that I'm asking are like common sense, which has probably happened. And the only feedback I've had to improve what I was doing is when I was scrubbing the shit off the fucking cement walls. Buddy just came and told me to put more muscle into it. He's like, just put a little more muscle into it, bud. And I did it. How do I win so much? I should be a motivational speaker. Yeah, I did bring that up. So before this whole MC Frosty, I haven't talked about this in a while, but before this whole MC Frosty little splurge, which I started in fucking 2018, based on the success of I Like Math and my dissing of the Decomposers. Prior to that, because I was on EI and shit like that, I was trying to start my own businesses and whatever. So my original idea was to start Jordan Pop's Personal Achievement Consultant, which you can actually visit at facebook.com/personal achievement. And yeah, people didn't really want to take advice from a meth head or whatever. So I kind of just was like, all right, world, you had your chance. And I just started applying my personal achievement methodologies, systems to my own. I gave the world a chance to use me and pay me. They didn't want to. So I just said, all right, I guess I'm going to have to do it myself. And 2 years of straight making music and music videos. Wasn't really paying the bills, but I had to bite the bullet, go on welfare for a little bit of help. You know what I mean? And then live streaming came. And I would say that I have definitely improved since day one of live streaming to where we are now. I think I have peaked. And then we're in a little lull. We were more in a little lull while I was in a relationship, I'm going to say. But we're still in the lull as terms of content because now I have other obligations in terms of revenue generation. But I believe that we can ascend even higher. And that's what's going through my mind right now, is that I got to bring the content now. But I need a financial safety net, which I am building right now. Pay my rent today. I still got money in the bank. I'm taking my daughter to a fucking concert next month. It's going to be like at least $1,000. I'm taking her to a concert. I'm taking her to an amusement park. And I have an Airbnb. Maybe I'll rent a car. Maybe I'll just take a train. I don't know. We'll see. And fucking, yeah. So with all my expenses that I have planned for the next 3 months, 2.5 months while I'm working this job, I should have $6,000 to $7,000 banked, after which can give us some goddamn good times on MC Frosty. I'm just saying. It does take a little money to make money. Not tent rent, my rent to my landlord for the room that I rent in Cornwall. Did I pay off my e-bike yet? I don't know. Okay, what was it, 2023? So I've paid at least $100 a month. So I put that on my line of credit, right? I have a $5,000 line of credit. So I put that on there. And, I paid at least $100 a month on there, with half of that being interest. And I have brought it down to maybe like $4,000 a couple times. But, like, I still use it. I still use the line of credit for other things. I guess in short, probably not. Probably not. But my account's in good standing and whatever. The only account that's not in good standing is my that business credit card that I got. And that was more for like, I was putting like flights and hotels and probably like $4,000 in cigarettes and weed. Maybe more. Maybe like $8,000 in cigarettes and weed on there. I basically lived off that credit card for 2023. Let's just say. Yeah, that is not paid off, and that interest is brought it probably to about $18,000 or $19,000 now. So yeah, we'll figure that out at some point. They don't call me about it anymore, though. I don't know why. But I do take my money out of my bank account when I have a bunch in there. I just don't want them taking it. But yeah, it's about $300 a month. So it was in interest. So it was. Last I checked, it was around $17,000 in October of last year. So let's say $300 a month times 10 months. So another 3,000. So it's probably 20 grand. Yeah, it's probably about 20 grand. JR, thank you. Appreciate the viewership. Yeah, we're just chit-chatting, guys. You know what I mean? It's 9 o'clock now. I have to get up whenever I want tomorrow to work, but I want to be done by 4 tomorrow. I want to be in the work truck driving back to Cornwall by like 4:30. It's going to take a little while to get back. How do I keep my stuff charged right now? There's extension cords running to the one building where there's showers and bathrooms and stuff. Toilet, fridge. The rain didn't fuck it up last night, so it's good. But my charging ports did get moist last night. I couldn't charge my shit in the morning. My phone's going beep beep, emergency, unplug immediately. So I had to wait for it all to dry out. After my shift, it was all dried out, and I was able to charge up instead of having to go buy a wireless charger. So yeah. When I was talking to my bank about that business credit card, though, and the balance was around $16,000, they did give me a settlement offer of around $12,000. So they were knocking off like 24%, 25% of it. So I don't know where that's at right now, to tell you the truth. But they usually call me before they like just take money out of my bank account. That's what they were doing. And last year I just wasn't answering the calls. So eventually they're like, okay, boom, 1,100 gone. And I was like, I still got more left. Okay, fine. And yeah, so they haven't done that yet, and they haven't been calling me. So that could mean a couple things. Because here's what's gonna happen, buds. Here's what's gonna happen. Because aside from my that business, like, what? Who gives me a business credit card? But anyway, besides that business credit card, I have 2 other credit accounts with my bank. One's a $3,000 credit card, and the other one's a $5,000 line of credit. So those are in good standing. But if they start like being uncool about that business credit card, then I'm just going to change banks and fuck them all. You know what I'm saying? And I'm real good at changing my phone number. You know what I mean? And then it's just 7 years until all that shit comes off your credit line, your credit report. So that means, age 50. And that happened to me when I was in my 20s, where I had about 15 grand. And they didn't do fuck all. I had about 15 grand in my 20s. They didn't do fuck all. They sold it to like debt collectors, and it's very easy to ignore a debt collector. Although I did at one point answer a call when I was on ecstasy, and I think I confirmed that I owed the money. That was a mistake, but I was in a really good mood. Smartphones are going to make it impossible to hide from debtors in the future. I'm paying $60 a week on that loan and interest. See, I don't know exactly how that works. There's a certain amount of time from when you made your last payment on an account, from when, like, okay, so let's just say the 7 years for a bad debt to come off your credit report, that's from the last payment you made. So what I'm guessing is at this point they've probably sold that debt. A couple things. They've probably sold that debt to a debt collector. But I haven't been getting calls from a debt collector unless those calls are being detected as spam on my phone and just not being forwarded to me. That is possible. Yeah, you just block them, exactly. But so then what could happen? What could happen is they could attempt to take me to court, which means I'd have to get some notification by mail, take me to court, and if I happen not to receive that mail, then I default on whatever judgment that's there, and then they'd have the right to garnish my wages. There's a limit on how much they can garnish. I think it's 15 to 20% of your paycheck, which is, by my living standards, fine with me. That'd be $600 a month at 20%. My rent is only $500 a month. So, if that happens, it's not the worst things. If I'm forced to slowly pay it, that's fine. But who knows what'll happen? Stevie Strange. I need a long cigarette holder. Go grab a pig in a church. So yeah, Valley Boy, you commented last night to clarify that you interpreted what I was saying about Toyota Kata as CAD. Okay, you said Toyota Lean CAD in a comment. So yes, there is Toyota, which is a company. There's also the Toyota Production System, which is like pretty much their methods for building vehicles. And there's also Lean, which is a system or a methodology to reduce waste in any type of process, manufacturing or otherwise. But as I was saying, the Toyota Kata that I was referencing is actually a book by Mike Rother, who I actually met the author. Mike Rother, the author. I believe I cracked a joke when I met him too, but I forget what it is. But anyway, and that's the Toyota Kata, managing people for adaptiveness, blah, 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 blah. But that book specifically focuses on continuous improvement. So setting a target, long-term goal, and then you have short-term goals to get there. You use like scientific method to fucking have an idea or a hypothesis, do experimentation, analyze your results, adjust, blah, 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 blah. That's what I've been trained on. That's what I'm good. That's what I apply to like just about everything that I fucking do. And Worthy, what up? So that, just to clarify. But within the continuous improvement processes is where you can apply like a lean philosophy. If that's what your goal is, to reduce waste in a process, then you might reach out to learn some lean processes as well. But that book was really a study on Toyota and how they do that, more of like the cultural approach of how they went 40 years without having a negative profit year, at least at that time when the book was published. So, just to clarify that I do know what I'm talking about. Because I think you implied that I didn't know what I was talking about. I'm gonna have to delete this stream. Fuck. I can't be fucking. Where's the meth at, bros? Where's the meth at? Sorry. Got a big pile of that pig shit. I fucking said, man, it's a fucking violation of biosecurity protocols, dude. You can't do that. It's disgusting. You can't. It's like... So this tent stint is just me hiding from debt collectors? No. Bro. How much to hit the Pookie? There will be no hitting the Pookie on stream ever again. That was a fucking one-time fucking thing. I hit the fucking crazy crick. I hit the crickety crack one time as well, or 2 times actually on stream. That won't happen again. You will likely never actually see a hard drug on the MC Frosty show again. But you may see the effects of using a hard drug. Maybe. But not while I have employment obligations. Okay? Just saying. I'm high as fuck. No, dude. I had an energy drink, man. I'm so fucking sober right now, dude. It's not even... That's right, Hugs. But I'm planning for the MC Frosty show to fucking kick in high gear. Now, don't expect me to be, like, fucking driving down the highway with fucking holding shit or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, so that's going to be a problem if I want to get high when I visit places, is I don't have hookups, and I got a low trust of, like, street drugs and shit like that. So, like, well, I'll figure it out. But I will probably get a little lit on some streams when I'm at home. Just saying. But now I have to take a different approach when you guys imply that I'm high, because I gave you my secrets the other day of how I handle it when you guys ask me if I'm high, and I don't want to say that I'm high. So now that I know that you know, now I have to fucking think of a different way to address that. See the sobriety in my eyes. I haven't smoked weed in fucking 15, 16 days. Okay, I've been working since not the Monday that just passed, the Monday before that. Okay, so this is I just completed day 12. Tomorrow will be day 13. I'm taking a day off, so I maybe smoked weed on like the Thursday or the Friday before I started work here. That was the last time I smoked weed. And the Pookie, I'm not even sure. I outed my coping mechanisms or whatever. Don't worry, what I said will be studied by me, okay? And I will achieve a different way to handle those inquiries. Maybe I'll just start lying to you guys now that I've built up my trust. So much, you know? Oh, yeah. Nobody says I have to tell the truth. Fuck. It's a fucking YouTube show, bro. It's fucking... This isn't a fucking court. I'm not a good liar. That is true. That is true. That is I think that's a blessing. Congrats on my license. Thank you, Endo11. Endo11, I was mentioning on some previous streams that, like, when I'm off work in November and I'm planning for things to do on the MC Frosty show, I may travel to go stream with some viewers if you're up for it. I think I recall what region you're in. If you're down for it, we'll set it up, man. I'll pay for the accommodations. I'll supply the alcohol and the weed, and we'll fucking just have a stream. I would like to, meet some of the people that have been watching me and make some content out of it. Turning my crank. There he is. Any advice on coping with tinnitus? Whew. So my bouts with tinnitus are like short term, although I have no doubt I have like permanent hearing damage to some degree. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. I don't hear a constant ringing. PB, what? I don't hear a constant ringing in my ears. I would imagine, like, depending on how loud that is, that's fucking hell. Turn it up, I guess. Get a fucking headphone amplifier, like, I don't know. Chewing gum helps you. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm lucky. Turning McCrank knows the old fucking garage jam place that we used to do, and like, fuck. It got pretty loud down there. Yeah, the abuse. Yeah, attorney, I got my G2 today, bud. I'm finally an adult again. Thank you, L Powers. Yeah, everything's coming up. Great opportunity to produce a new MC Frosty song. Thank you. Sober. I think somebody has a song called that. No, I like being sober for work. I like, you know what I mean, being clear-headed. I don't like being groggy because, like, I smoked too much weed the night before or whatever. Or, like, I definitely do not like the feeling of come down from stimulants and then having to go to work. You know what I mean? That's not cool. That's not cool. That is like torture. You know what I mean? Like dragging your ass around all day, knowing you have to be there. And you have like counting that fucking time until the shift ends just so you can go get a full night of sleep. You know? Try acid. I've done that many times. Acid. You know, it's got to be in the right environment. I'm due for an acid trip. Fuck yeah. But again, my mind right now is set on fucking working, making as much money as I can, doing as much hours as I can until the end of this work season, which will be in November. And while I'm doing that, because I have a lot of time to think while I'm cleaning the pig shit, is I'm planning of things that I can do to make my off work season content. But really the first thing is having a little bit of money to invest into the show and trips, travel, equipment, whatever, fuck. Peanut butter cups, whatever. And then you know, attempting to generate some revenue. So like, you know, my biggest week of revenue of all with the MC Frosty show was because of the Roulette of Fun. So maybe we'll bring something like that back for a try. But just know, if I have to do MC Frosty, which I want to do full time after I'm done this fucking job, if I want to put more than 28 hours a week into it, which I think is necessary, you know, because you know, I mean, I'm willing to go 24/7 streaming, buds. You know what I mean? But anyways, I will be sacrificing my employment insurance for those weeks, not throwing them in the trash, but just not collecting them. I will not qualify for it those weeks. So, which can be good as well. But if I'm generating, at least if I'm breaking even with the money that I spend, then that's worth it. That's worth it. I plan to keep my place. So that's $500 a month rent. I plan to keep that no matter what I do. So let's just say I'm off in November and I fucking start work back in May. Let's just say maybe April, but maybe May. So that's let's just say December, January, February, March, April. That's 5 months rent. That's $2,500. So that's like, I gotta be able to, which is like gonna be 1 week. Like, so maybe what I do is I go 3 weeks a month of MC Frosty, 1 week of EI to pay for my rent or whatever. Who knows? Number 1 on IV2. With 30 viewers, I doubt that, but thank you. Do roulette of fun tomorrow. Stop delaying. No, I have to work tomorrow. I will probably put in an 8-hour day. I'm gonna end the stream real soon, guys. I do have to sleep. I gotta get up at like 6 in the morning if I want to be in there for 7. So like, I get paid $23 an hour. So if I do 8 hours a day, that's fucking $178 less tax, 20%. So it's $150 a day. That's a lot of fucking peanut butter cups. Frost tonight. Whoa. What? No. There's rain. There's lots of rain coming in the morning, though, I guess. So that kind of sucked last night. My shit was getting wet a little bit. CBD, stay off the roads in Canada. MZ, what up? Okay, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna hit the hay there. It's 9:30. I'll hopefully pass out by 10. Wake up at 6. And or maybe I'll go in a little late tomorrow and just do a 7-hour day. I got like 36 hours in so far this week. I'd like to just at least keep it over 40, and I'm aiming for 50 hours a week. But I took 4 hours off this morning to go get my license, so do my road test. Obviously, I didn't go to work at my normal time and then leave and then go. Like, I probably should have done that, but I just fucking slept in, because I got picked up at like 8:15. So there's no point in me going in for 7:30. that I've been doing all week, But hit the hay there, bud. Smashing pumpkins, yo. Let's go. Yeah, attorney, I'm taking my daughter to go see Suicide Boys next month, Montreal. I'm not the biggest fan, but their beats are pretty good. I'm sure you appreciate them. So she really likes them. We're gonna go to El Aron too the next day. Good times. Gladiator days. I know. I was talking about it a little bit earlier. They're okay. Yeah, I know. They're okay, right? But they're playing at the Bell Center. Like, we're like less than a month away from the show, and there's still really good seats available. I think general admission is all like bought up by resellers and shit like that. But like, they're not. You can't. They're not even. They're not filling. They're not filling the Bell Center. You know what I mean? Like people are probably gonna buy like 3rd level tickets and get their tickets upgraded to like 2nd or 1st level. Like, there's no fucking way. They're not. No fucking way. I don't consider them an arena act like that. You know what I mean? Like, they should be doing the other one in Laval. But they're too big. They're too big for that one. They're too big from Place Bell or whatever. But Shepherd, what up, man? Yeah, I got my driver's license today. I had my learners for a year, and I got my driver's license today. I drove a Lexus, bro. I drove a Lexus in my driver's test. I was like balling. Fucking balling. my boss knew somebody who had a vehicle, and the guy was willing to let me use it, and he got somebody to take me, so it was cool. Nailed the fucking uphill park. E-brake. Well, first turn the wheels out. E-brake. Did a 3-point turn perfectly. Pew, pew, pew. And then did a parallel park. And none of those procedures. I don't even think I've ever done a proper uphill park other than a fucking driving test. But I haven't done a 3-point turn or a fucking parallel park in at least 15 years since I last had my G2. So I fucking nailed it. Buy the tickets. I'm buying them next Friday. I just paid rent. I could buy them right now. I do have the cash to buy them, but I just don't want to be able to. I just don't want to spend it right now. So next Friday, I'm buying the tickets. And then I'll have like 2 more paychecks, so like $1,500 before the show, and I'll get the Airbnb for a couple nights. That'll probably be like, I think I'll get a nice Airbnb for that weekend, just something fancy. Thank you, Chuck Buck. Thank you, appreciate that. But yes, I believe that having my driver's license is going to be good for the MC Frosty show once we kick it into more of a full-time kind of thing. I got plans. Sometimes it might be more economical to say like take the train to Toronto and then rent a car when I'm there. I'm gonna have to just shop prices and that kind of thing. Or it might be more fun to rent an Escalator for a day and go to fucking Ottawa or something, you know what I mean? Just fucking whatever. Escalator? Is that what it is? Escalade, man. Yeah, you should, I don't know cars, okay? Escalator. What? Do a sleep streams with donos loud. ESV or EXT? I think it's EXT. Gladiator. Do they still make those? Man, if I could buy a cheap Gladiator, that would be so fucking cool. Yeah, that's another thing, man. So like, here's some options. Here's some options when I'm off work. Like Gringo suggested, like a rent an Airbnb or something I can use as a studio for a month here and there, or a few weeks or whatever, and then just go full time wherever. I'll have some money, which is good. Alright guys, I'm not going to do a sleep stream. I'm going to get some sleep, but I do thank you guys for tuning in. Again, thank you to everybody who's congratulated me for getting my license. It's been a while. I'm super stoked, and I will be home tomorrow night. I do plan to go visit White Tupac. He's invited me over, so I'm gonna go visit him. We'll probably have some pizza, some drinks. So either tune into his channel or maybe I'll stream it on my channel. I also have potential plans with a friend. Maybe that's not confirmed, but I may go visit him afterwards, and I wouldn't stream if I did that. But that might not happen. I might just hang out with him on Sunday, and I'll chill at White Tupac's for a little bit. Maybe I'll go back home, and I'll be on foot, leaving the work truck at home, obviously, and I will maybe have a fun stream at home tomorrow night with you guys. I was thinking maybe even bringing out the Speedo, to tell you the truth. I don't know. For Kip. He misses it. So, alright guys. Good night. Thank you. And MC Frosty out.